This rainbow story is about Austin Gallagher. I'm Austin's mom, Chrissy.
And I'm Austin's dad, Mark.
Austin's first 9 months were totally normal. He was a happy and healthy child, and at his 9-month doctor's appointment, his pediatrician thought that he heard a small hole in his heart and sent us to a pediatric cardiologist who immediately, very first thing, felt his belly and said, "Does it always feel like this?" They had found a tumor near Austin's kidney. He said, "Don't run any red lights, go home, pack a bag, go to Rainbow." The idea of cancer, of my child actually having cancer, of that being real, I think for both of us as we started to realize that this was real, that our entire lives changed in the course of one day because of one word, cancer.
Life is like a gift, they say, wrapped up for you every day.
You go into survival mode. We have another son, and it was, we needed to care for him too. And my first thing was to go home, call my parents, let them know, what Austin was diagnosed with, and that I need to bring Braden over immediately. Packed him a bag, to explain to him in simple terms that he was having a sleepover. He was going on this big, long adventure over to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and he totally embraced it and loved sleepovers and said that he was ready for the adventure. Little did we know that we were on our own adventure.
We found out that Austin was diagnosed with bilateral Wilms tumor, which is kidney cancer on both sides. The primary tumor was about the size of a sweet potato. Now remember, this was our 10-month-old baby.
Open up and find a way to give some of your own.
During all of the nights that followed at Rainbow, Mark or I were there every single second. We slept in bed with him. He didn't sleep in a crib. He slept in our arms. He slept usually with us standing up in our arms. He was held 24 hours a day. So we went home and we started to develop some sense of normalcy in our lives, some sense of routine. And after a month, I started to notice that his belly was looking larger and larger. We learned that the primary tumor had grown by 50%. It was the size of a small watermelon.
When you wake up every day, please don't throw your dreams away. Hold them close to your heart.
The news that this tumor had grown so much, so quickly, brought out all of the worst fears. They went in and removed his right kidney, and they took a 5.5-pound tumor out of my 11-month-old baby. And then we waited some more. We expected our oncologist, Dr. Jeff Valletta, to come in at the end of that day. And around noon, he walked in the door. And he was so excited. And he shared with us that Austin's cancer was still treatable, that this was something that we could beat.
Sun comes up and shines so bright and disappears again at night.
But I was still worried about the left side, because even though we received wonderful news about the right side, I knew the left side was still in play and that it would have to be reckoned with at some point.
And after 5 days at home, we went right back to the hospital for another surgery.
Could, this 11-month-old baby handle so many surgeries in such a short period of time? Could his body tolerate the constant, trauma to his body?
So they went in and did this surgery, and they got off several tumors. Within 1 week of that surgery, we were at home, and Austin was playing and laughing. And then he continued on with chemo. We went back in the hospital for 2 days for another CT scan, and this again would determine what the rest of this process would be like. There was the potential that we'd immediately have another surgery and he would go on dialysis for years. And that scan came back clear.
It seems so exceptional that things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
And he finished chemo in the middle of February, and he runs around like a wild man, and he has a scar that goes straight across his belly, and he is the happiest, spunkiest, most energetic little kid that I've ever known. We loved Rainbow. We loved our doctors, and we really, really, really loved our nurses. They cry with you when you get good news and bad news, and they hold your hand, and they love the kids that come through those doors.
Rainbows also treats the family. Austin's the patient, but they also were treating us as a family unit, and I think that made all the difference.
You've heard Austin's story, and it ended happily, but there are people who come through the doors of this hospital every single day, just starting off on this journey. And we don't know how their stories will end, but you can help.
Austin is our little miracle.
Just another ordinary
Make some more miracles happen.
miracle
Please call.
today.